Lance, to start off, how do you feel like the team has reacted to Saturday's game?
Obviously very disappointed. We just finished up here about a half hour ago. One of our best Monday practices we've had in a long time. Just the way they went about it, moved around. We talked about a lot of different things about this and how we went about and things that happened Saturday that we got to be better at. But like I said, this thing got started off for this game and a quality opponent in a very good way today.
Do kind of the last 48 hours serve as a benchmark, a test for where just the culture is at?
I think every day is a test of your culture. But, yeah, there's obviously didn't play well, didn't handle some situations real well. To me, it's just a part of the whole growth process of building a consistent program. By no means did we ever think we were there, okay? We had made great progress, and there's going to be days you take a step back, and unfortunately we did this weekend, and we're going to put it back where it needs to be.
And real quick, with Jalen, I guess, how did his shoulder and everything react to the game and practice?
Right now he's went through everything again today. I think through typical thing, and Jason practiced as well, so it's the first time I think they both really fully practiced in a while. Hopefully that'll continue through the week. It's really, truly how they come through the morning, so to speak. Jalen, there was some, I'm sure they were going to ask, were there a little bit of rustiness, and, he had to work through some things. He did not want to come out of the game. And I talked to him in the third quarter about taking him out, and he did not. He said, I need to work some rust off, and I want to stay in. And he could have easily said, okay, I'll wait till and see what happens. So he wanted to keep going, told Jason that he was going to get time in the fourth, and that's the way it played out. So, I thought he made some throws that were very impressive as the game went on, and I think he gained more confidence.
Now that you had the chance to look at the tape, I guess with the run defense, I guess, what do you feel like? Did you guys do much well, or what went wrong? What kind of
not a lot. But that's when a guy has a career day and he's as many good days as he's had. There were some big numbers in between missed tackles, yards after contact. Part of those missed tackles. Bad angles, and some things that really accounted for a major chunk of their total yardage for the day. And that's something that we addressed, and it's something that I know our guys have taken to heart. And that's why I said today, from the opening period on, I thought they worked extremely hard, and they're working to get it corrected. So.
What would the points of emphasis be right now for Kansas State looking at that game?
Well, the point of emphasis for us is is cleaning up some of those things that we're talking about. Again, Coach Kleiman and his staff done an outstanding job this year. They have an excellent football team, a lot to play for, and they've earned that right, and they've got a lot of weapons. One of the best defenses in the country. So it's going to be a big task to go in there. But what we have to worry about, again, is some of the consistencies that we didn't operate very well on ourselves first. We weren't very good in short yardage offensively. And, between third and fourth and shorts, we didn't execute. Our third and long execution in the game was actually better. And you start thinking about sustaining a drive, maybe putting points on the board. Some of the things that got away from us, early or late first quarter, second quarter might have been a whole different game. If you're 17-7 without a man downfield, how we're reacting, what we're doing, what changes play, a lot of things could have gone. But that happens every game. So for us to focus on the things that we need to do a better job on, we got to punt better. Our field goal kicking is not very good, as we all know, okay? We gave up too many punt return yards, and they have dynamic returners at Kansas State. So every facet of our game has to be on the uptick this week.
Yeah, you mentioned punting and kicking. If there's another punter that came in, another kicker that came in, what was your reasoning behind that?
Well, one was probably based for a new opportunity, and one was more strategy based. I guess I'll leave it like that for now. Okay, but we've Jacob Orchilla, as we know, he's had some good days. He's had some rough days. He's also worked through some injuries, and and I appreciate him trying to battle through some of those. But he knows as well that we got to be able to make those. And though we had opened things up in practice and charted, and Jacob had had won those things, game day performance, the last two games were not to what we need. And I decided to make the change.
And then you mentioned injuries. Is Earl doing all right, Earl Bostic? Because I think there were times he was limping during the game against Texas. He's gone out multiple times in past games. How is Earl doing physically?
Yeah, Earl's out there again every day. Earl has not missed a day of practice this year. Earl, again, I admire Earl a lot because he goes down and he finds a way to kind of go back. He's a modern day Willis Reed. You don't know who Willis Reed is, do you? Okay. All right. Okay, I'm impressed. That's good. That's a huge up for you. That's cool.
And also, I think the difference was almost 17,000 in terms of more fans on average per home game for you guys this season comparatively to 2021. Mm-hmm. When you hear that difference, what goes through your mind?
Well, first of all, very grateful and appreciative of our fan support. We didn't give them a lot to cheer about Saturday, and it wasn't the warmest of conditions. And so for that much and how we played, I didn't blame the ones that left. We've got to give them reason to stick around. But I hope they know the difference they've made this in our players and really the appreciation, how that can help in recruiting, what it does in atmosphere and really in campus energy, all those things. But game day environment here is night and day different than it was a year ago, and we appreciate that, and we hope that is reflective in hopefully their belief in this program and our players moving forward, and hopefully we'll see the uptick in season tickets and all the other things that we would like this place to be full, the booth to be full every game day possible.
Is there anything else like that, looking ahead to next year, that you would want to see a market improvement, whether it's NIL or anything outside of, performance on the field?
Ask that again, make sure I'm answering.
Yeah, is there anything else around the program, whether it's NIL or anything like that?
I want everything to improve around our program, including our program, and I don't mean that sarcastically because I can be that way, is everything that happens, it's daily improvement. So whatever that may be that touches our program, from our communication staff to our marketing people to whatever that we can do to make this better, working hard on getting things going on facility-wise. NIL is good. It's good for our players. Yes, there may be some uncertainty of where it completely lands, but we need, it's going to be part of it, and we hope that the people that can make a difference in that and supporting our players, no matter how big or small, are embracing it as well, the new landscape of college football. And we're going to need that to continue to build a program. So anything that you mentioned that can remotely come close to influencing this program and how we are able to go about our daily work, how we feel about it, how we represent it, anything, I will always try to make sure we improve, probably to a point that I wear out the administration by keep asking and pushing and doing the things that we need to be the program we want to be.
On the topic of K-State and the rivalry game, second time for you and the staff of doing it, I guess, what did you learn about the game last year or over kind of your first 2 years here? That
we need to carry our end of the rivalry. That's first and foremost. This hasn't been a real much of a rivalry when we didn't make that a competitive game last year. So that's going to be the first and foremost, that that I'm focused on. Anything after that is, it's what it is. Like I've mentioned, Coach Kleiman, Connor Riley, their offensive line coach, played at Omaha, coached with him. Those Steve Standard, their linebacker. There's good people and really good coaches on their staff, so that kind of sometimes can deflate your dislike, because I think they're good people, and that's important. And anytime you get a chance to compete against people that do things the right way, and but you can competitively get after it, I think is always exciting. And for what it's worth, I think it's great that it's the last game of the year.
And you mentioned that. I guess what would a win in this game mean for the program in the current state?
Again, I'm sure there's probably, especially in your line of work, probably some recruiting aspects to it. It's us playing well and showing the way that we're taking steps. You look again how well they've played all year and what they've done. It'll be a chance to knock off another ranked opponent, and doing it on the road, and giving us a little, shot of energy as we head into bowl prep. And because it will be an important 30 days or so of our program and development, and how we approach it, and the attitude and the opportunity and all of that. So I look at it all that way holistically, what it can do. Everything else is probably more social media based or whatever, and bragging rights. But, we're not in the weeds of that as we have to, turn on to the next thing pretty quickly, and that's recruiting and other things within the program.
Is there anything you do, differently or added on this week with a rivalry game, like having past players come in to talk, or having some of the local in-state kids talking about what this means?
Not a lot. I mean, we have in the past, we had Gilbert Brown in last week. We've had some players. I think Sam Burt's always been a good one internally, because I think I said it last year when he broke his arm. He came back, and, we talked about redshirting. He agreed to do it, and then we had to pick the games. And, he said, I don't care which other two, I just want to play in the Kansas State game. And so that means, and Sam banged up a little bit in the game again. He has been the last couple weeks. And, went up to him after the game and asked him if he's all right. And he says, have to be. It's K-State week. And so I think we have that there. I don't want to devalue anyone's past experiences or where that's at, but I guess sometimes I go through to the point of, you do highlight films and you can do all this stuff, and you do speakers at the hotel or bring them in. I don't know what that does other than your daily, your daily responsibilities of working hard and taking care of yourself and watching film and doing that. I don't know how that's going to make me play at a different rate than I should. I guess I've never fully gone that route, because once that ball's kicked off, I started thinking way back. Now, it's been a long time since I played, but even a long time ago as an assistant coach, I tried to think back of what the coach said in the locker room before we took the field, and I barely could remember. By the time you hit you got other things. And so, not to underestimate the value of those things and pride, but I think if we're doing things correctly, we're hitting some of those along the way. Now, can you use a little bit of here and there to understand and take a little bit of more accountability to the situation? Sure.
You mentioned one of the best practices you've had so far today. Is there any players that you've really noticed kind of stepping up in the leadership aspect over the last couple of days?
Well, I said it was our best Monday. I want to make sure. I mean, we've had other good days. And, Monday's a day that, especially you're sore, you're moving around, guys are doing some things. But from, as we talked in our team meeting about attacking things, and I've said it in here before, of good and bad, about being coachable on Mondays and owning what's on film. And I think today they've done it as good as any day I've seen, is about going out with a purpose to get better. So leader-wise, I still think it's, core guys and that. But sometimes leading is just fight through some things. I mentioned a Sam Burt, or I mentioned someone that might be under the weather and they're finding a way to get through it. A guy that's banged up a little bit and everybody knows it, but is just out there doing what they can. And those are the things that, because if I mention names, I'll leave somebody out, and that's not right. So, but holistically, in a quick snapshot of about what do we have today, about 70-minute practice, they moved around extremely well.
Coach, you mentioned bowl prep. And just only, I'm asking this mainly because I'm not sure what our access is going to be with the regular season wrapping up.
Me either.
And it's been a while since we've been through a bowl schedule around here. What are your general ideas about your scheduling? Are you going to get right back into it, or give the guys a little time away, or what are your thoughts about the next month?
We've got some. Let's put. What did we? We'll get an opportunity to wrap up from this week's game, okay? And then I'll give you a little better idea. There'll be we have some things sketched out, and I'll give you a better idea next week once we have. And I don't want to not answer that, but there'll be some downtime, obviously, but and then more weight room type and conditioning would be my estimation. Biggest thing's going to be is not where, but when we play, okay? And that won't be until really 2 weeks from yesterday. So we're 13 days away from finding that out. And then you kind of work backwards from there. Okay, and then I'd rather stay focused on the one we got to play and then give you a little bit. But that would be the point. And then we've got recruiting and the other things that you manage around. But we'll have a better idea once that's set, okay?